Welcome, fellow castigators. Hot on the heels of Planet of the Incels, Russell T. Davies has cooked up a new story for us, and I watched it so that you don't have to. I'm just gonna cut right to the chase. This is one of the most egotistical, self-aggrandizing, and delusional episodes of television that I have ever forced myself to watch. The Doctor and Belinda go to Miami, Florida in 1952, so they can be racially profiled, and Russell can feel like he's a good person. Russell acts like he's just addressing something that's unavoidable, but he's the writer, and he could have chosen a number of different decades to use as an excuse to turn the Doctor and Belinda into Hanna-Barbera-style cartoons. He knew exactly what he was doing. They break into a segregated movie theater by screwing the chains until they spark, however the hell that works, and they meet a living cartoon who is actually Lux Imperator, the god of light. The solution to defeating him eludes the audience because it's so monumentally stupid. How do you defeat the god of light? Well, of course, you light a pile of film on fire, which will blow up a wall and expose Lux to sunlight, and he'll dissipate as he becomes what the Doctor calls pure light. Except he already is, because he told us earlier that he's literally living light. He can't become more light than he already is if he's already all light. Just like you can't become more drunk if you're unconscious. Well, maybe you can with a little forcefulness. Belinda asks how it's possible for a light being to be defeated by sunlight, which is a damn good question, and the Doctor says,
"A person is 60% water but can still drown."
What? That would equate if you could control water to such a powerful degree that you can make people and objects out of water. Hydration is just an element we use to sustain life. Lux is 100% light to begin with. He can become more light in volume, but he can't become more light in property. He's either made of light or he isn't. His exponential growth from light would make him more powerful rather than dilute his lightness with more light. What am I even saying right now? Light is light, you absolute kindergartner. And what would have happened if the Doctor hadn't intervened? Exactly the same outcome. Lux would have gone outside, become one with the universe, the victims revived, hallelujah! No. Instead, when Lux somehow restrains the Doctor with easily terrible film, even though he controls light and not actual physical film, Belinda's solution is to risk everyone's lives by setting the building on fire. She's awfully lucky it managed to blow up a whole wall. Nitrate film is combustible, but it's not exactly C4. The worst part of this whole farce is how much time they waste with Lux trapping the Doctor and Belinda into film. How could he do that to them if they aren't light and therefore alterable by his powers? Wouldn't he just be the god of fire in the end, or maybe the god of glow-stick raves? Does any of this need to make sense? No, Russell will use any excuse to get away with his cheap gimmicks. So boom, the Doctor and Belinda are flat Scooby-Doo style cartoons, and they get out really quickly by becoming sad. The Doctor says if they express their feelings and become more dimensional, they can go back to being 3D. Get it? Isn't that so funny? It's just a turn of phrase, Russell. You don't become physically more dimensional from being a more complicated person. That's too much fiction and not enough science. Russell thinks he's so damn clever, but the reality is that his characters are the most one-dimensional characters in Doctor Who history. The Doctor says he's sad Gallifrey is gone, and Belinda says she's sad and wants to go home. Wow, we're really breaking barriers here, Russell. Everyone stop what you're doing. Groundbreaking new television is being made. Look at this freaking guy. His genius is unparalleled. These two marginalized brown people break free of their prison by confessing their feelings. But they're not actually free yet because Russell isn't done showboating how brilliant and meta he can be. The Doctor says, "We've been framed," And then they push out of this screen and meet Doctor Who fans in the real world. Oh my gosh, what other show would do this? You're such a crackhead, Russell. He goes on to call the fans annoying, makes fun of them for their favorite episode being Blink. Murray Gold pulls out an old theme for cheap nostalgia points, and then the fans realize they aren't real and they die. What Doctor Who fan wouldn't love that? Isn't that so meta? It totally doesn't degrade the integrity of Doctor Who as a franchise at all. As this stupid series of events comes to a close, the Doctor brings up race one more time, and then Mrs. Flood randomly shows up to tell the audience that the show will end on May 24th. Not cringy and lame at all. Russell T. Davies is so obsessed with meta jokes and wordplay that the episode is like a Big Bang Theory themed crossword puzzle written by a dumbass. Russell's ego is practically dripping off the screen as the story descends into self-indulgent chaos that is consequently incapable of concluding itself in a congruent or logical way. You just know Russell is in bed with a teenage boy right now, jacking off and moaning how clever he is at the top of his lungs. This is annoyingly coupled with Russell's raging self-hatred that causes Belinda to take charge in every situation and declare, "I'm Berlinder, this is the Doc," to anyone who will listen. The Doctor is a wet blanket of a person who cries every episode without fail and almost never has any hand in resolving the plot. And yet we're supposed to believe that Russell has so much respect for this character and this show. We're supposed to believe that he isn't just in it for the politics, when every scene is written with the clear purpose of stroking his own ego or posturing what a good and moral person he allegedly is. Russell is just using our beloved Doctor Who as a soapbox for whatever personal insecurity he's feeling at the time, and he doesn't even have the respect to cover it up with dimensional characters and strong storytelling. Everything is just a game to him. But these things do matter. Every week in our lives is hard. You slave away for your basic needs, feeding the greed of some faceless corruption, and then you crash your car, you lose a friend, you get addicted to drugs, you get dumped, or someone dies. There's always something, and that's why people need escapism. That's why they need you, Russell. Because they need to be reminded of the beautiful things in life. Like adventure, like nature, like dancing, like running, like seeing the light of the universe in another person's eyes. We need art to survive. It's what keeps us from getting bored and killing each other or ourselves. But now people look at Doctor Who and they're just reminded of the pain in our world. They see petty squabbles about race or gender. They see all of the ego-driven nutjobs who have gained power in their lives and wield it with reckless abandon. The Doctor is meant to be the champion of these things, an unyielding force in the face of these pains that inspires others to do the same. Instead, he is a weak, limp-wristed man with all the authoritative prowess of the pathetic man writing him. You are a selfish prick, Russell T. Davies. When people needed you most, you took the opportunity to serve no one but yourself. You have lost the ability to save the lives of others with your unique abilities, and consequently, so has the Doctor. He can never be the hero he needs to be as long as you continue to be such an ineffectual loser of a man. The important things in this world have all fallen in the hands of such terrible people, and Doctor Who is just another casualty to add to the list. Doctor Who has been abandoned by the virtuous, dear viewer, and you should do the same. Sanity permitting, I'll be back soon to review the next episode, The Well. As always, thank you for listening.